Are you tired of playing Kliff and running the same old turning/focused builds? No worries. Today, I'm showing you a Damiane build, and it is not another overrated turning/setup. With the recent updates, the other two characters have also gotten new abilities, so if you haven't given them a try yet, now's the time. I'll be breaking down a new Abyss gear setup, new skills, and a whole new playstyle for Damiane. This build runs on the lightning element instead of fire, just for variety, because I got tired of flame-focused builds and wanted to try something different. Alright, enough yapping. Let's get down into the build. Starting with the weapon of choice. Just to be clear, you really don't have to use a greatsword if you don't like it. You can use any two-handed sword you want, but there is a caveat. If you're going to use a normal two-handed sword instead of a greatsword, you're going to lose some attack power. Let me explain it quickly. Greatswords come in 3 types, just like normal longswords, but their attack power is slightly higher. An attack-focused greatsword will give you 45 attack at max refinement, while a normal longsword will only give you 43. A crit-focused greatsword gives you 43 attack with level 3 crit rate, while a normal longsword gives you 39 with level 3 crit rate. Now you know the difference. Pick whichever you prefer. For this build, I'm using the Varrock Greatsword. To get it, head to this location, southeast of the Demonis region. Steal it from this small house. You'll need a key to open the door. Before we get into Abyss gears, let me walk you through the skills and combos you need for this build. As I covered in my previous spear build, Damiane and Kliff both have a counter stance with specific weapons. Kliff only gets this stance with a spear, but Damiane has it for both the longsword and spear. This build focuses only on the two-handed sword, so I'll stick to that. You enter counter stance by holding RB plus B, and if you get hit while holding it, you'll block the attack and fire back with a counterattack. With a greatsword as your main weapon, that counterattack hits incredibly hard. This skill alone makes boss fights noticeably easier, even on hard difficulty. But you don't want to make your fights boring, do you? Good, because there's more coming. The next skill is Holy Explosion. You can think of it as a mini turning slash. The first swing is a massive uppercut that triggers a ground explosion, which can launch smaller enemies into the air. After that first swing, you can follow up with Shatter, where you plunge your greatsword into the ground to trigger a second explosion. You can chain this directly after a counterattack for an absurd damage output, and I'll show you exactly how that plays out in the combo section. Now, for smaller enemies and mob clearing. Because a slow greatsword playstyle does need an answer for that, you're going to use Piercing Light. It's a great skill for closing the gap between you and your target, and it has 2 follow-up attacks. The one I use most is Tempest. To execute it, charge your Piercing Light until your sword starts glowing, then press the follow-up key right after it connects with an enemy. This covers a massive area and does serious damage, so it's your go-to when charging into a group. The second follow-up is Heavy Strike, which is a little trickier to pull off. Charge Piercing Light until you see the glow, and the instant it connects, press forward plus light attack. It takes some timing, but it's worth practicing. Damiane also has her version of Turning Slash called Smiting Strike. Nothing new here. Use it as a finisher when the enemy is exhausted or as the last hit in a combo. I'll cover the full combo breakdown in a moment. What is new, though, is Elemental Shield Toss and Shield Toss. Elemental Shield Toss is decent, but executing it requires pressing a whole bunch of keys, and I don't love that. I'm only using the normal Shield Toss. It flies out, hits enemies, and returns to you. At max upgrade, it can strike up to 7 enemies. It's great for interrupting boss mechanics and knocking out mobs quickly. Shield Watcher is another cool option. It works similarly to Watcher's Pack, but consumes Spirit to summon. I'm not a huge fan of it personally, but if you want a second companion at your side, go ahead and summon your shield. Now for the combos. And don't worry, nothing here is complicated. For bosses, all you need to do is enter counter stance, and after the counterattack, follow up with Holy Explosion. That alone handles most boss fights. For mobs, here's what you're working with. Combo 1. Normal Piercing Light into Holy Explosion into Smiting Strike. Combo 2. Charged Piercing Light into Tempest into Holy Explosion into Shatter into Smiting Strike. For bosses when they're stunned, Holy Explosion into Shatter into Smiting Strike. If you want to mix things up with smaller enemies, you can throw in Winch or Screwdriver too. But I'm saving those for a dedicated unarmed combat build. Now, let's get into the Abyss gear setup. On your weapon, you want to slot in 3 Crit Abyss gears alongside Hound's Claws and Ancient Retribution. Since we're using Holy Explosion a lot, these 2 gears are perfect because they trigger on the same key combination. Hound's Claws does a 360-degree sweep that covers a wide area, and Ancient Retribution fires laser-type attacks down from above. Ancient Retribution is obtained by defeating Priscus the Ancient. That boss is part of the Assyrian, the Great Serpent quest. Hound's Claws can be extracted from the weapon you get after defeating the boss in the Hellhound's quest. For the armor set, you can run whatever you prefer. But for gloves, you're specifically looking for the Grey Wolf Cloth gloves. These are the ones that give Damiane attack speed. I haven't managed to find them in-game yet, so if any of you know how to craft or get them, drop it in the comments below. On the headgear, slot in the Momentum Abyss gear, which increases turning/damage by 35%. I've covered how to get this in all my previous build guides, so check those out if you need it. On the chest piece, slot in 2 food effects and 1 stamina regen. Food effect gear is genuinely busted in this game. Don't skip out on free damage and buffs. On the gloves, slot in Stormfang and 1 attack speed Abyss gear. Stormfang is a lightning-based gear that deals lightning damage. It can be extracted from the headgear you get after defeating the boss in the Ruined Chapel quest. On the boots, slot in 2 Malicebane Abyss gears for 24% damage against mighty foes. For the shield, the default shield is already strong on its own. It even comes with level 2 movement speed built in, which is a nice bonus. Just equip defense gears on it, and you're good. For accessories, I'm running Witch's Ring and Mark of Darkness Ring. Combined, they give level 8 attack speed, which is excellent. If you have the Grey Wolf Cloth gloves, swap out one of the rings for the Tiger Fang ring instead. A pure attack ring that gives 7 attack at max refinement. For the necklace, I'm using Engraved Silver Necklace. You don't have to use this exact one. Any necklace that gives level 4 crit will work just fine. For earrings, I'm running Engraved Gold Earrings. Combined, they give level 8 movement speed, which keeps Damiane feeling fluid and responsive. If you're not sure where to craft or get these accessories, I've covered all of them in previous build guides. Links are in the pinned comment. For buffs, I'm running Aromatic Grand Meal, which gives you 600 health on top of your current health and reduces spirit cost by 5% for 3 minutes. The second food is Hearty Lavish Meal, which increases your attack by 25 for 20 seconds. But with level 5 food effect, that jumps to a whopping plus 50 attack. For elixirs, you want Miliara's Greater Elixir. We're mainly using it for the level 3 attack speed. The final one is Freya's Greater Elixir, which increases your attack by 10 for 15 minutes. If you don't have these recipes yet, you can unlock them simply by crafting each one 3 times. I'm putting all the materials required to craft these foods and elixirs on screen right now. Now, if you want to run the exact armor set I'm using on Damiane, here's how to get it. The battlefield chest plate can be found in a chest inside the Howlson's camp, which is in the north of the Crimson Desert region. Come to this exact location. There's a sandstorm going on here, so visibility is rough, so pay attention to the map marker. For the battlefield helm, head to the northwest of the Crimson Desert region. It's sitting in a chest, right at the center of the mountain. The elegant carmine boots can be directly purchased from the tailor in the Varnia region, but you'll need to raise her trust level to 100 first before she'll sell it to you.
Do you have a certain style in mind?
The elegant carmine gloves blueprint can be stolen from Dewhaven Keep in Delecia. And for the elegant carmine leather cloak, I had no idea where this thing was. Full credit goes to Unifee for tracking down this blueprint for us. If you want the complete carmine set, check his video. Link is in the description. And that's the full Damiane build. If you found this video useful, drop a like. It genuinely helps the channel, and subscribe if you don't want to miss the next build.